Find the first four partial sums and the nth partial sum of the sequence a sub n. So, just to give you an idea of what's going on, the fourth partial sum is actually going to be the first four terms, and then you just add them all together. So the third partial sum is going to be the first three terms added together, and so on. And then the first partial sum is just going to be my first term. So that's the idea. So my first partial sum is going to be 1 over 1 plus 1, which is 2, minus 1 over 1 plus 2, which is 3. And this equals, get a common denominator. So it's going to be 3 over 6 minus 2 over 6, which ends up being 1 over 6. Second partial sum. That's going to be my first term, which ends up being, now I'm going to write it out because there's going to be a pattern. 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. And then we're going to add that to my next term. So it's going to be a sub 2, which ends up being 1 over 2 plus 1, which is 3, minus 1 over 4. So this will be 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. And if you notice, this reduces with this. So all it's going to be is 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. Get a common denominator, so this needs to have a 2 and a 2. So this becomes 2 minus 1 over 4, which ends up being 1 over 4. Then I have s sub 3, which is going to be my first term, which is 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. My second term, which is plus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. Plus my third term, which is going to be 1 over 4 minus 1 over 5. So this gives me, and if you notice, all the middle terms go away, and it's just left with the first one minus my last one. So it's going to be 1 over 2 minus 1 over 5. This needs a 2 and a 2. This needs a 5 and a 5. So you end up getting 5 minus 2 over 10, which is 3 over 10. Okay, s sub 4. So my fourth partial sum is going to be 1 minus 2 minus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 minus 1 over 5. If you notice, every time I write what I had before, and then I got to do my next term. So that's going to be my fourth term. So that's 4 plus 1, which is 5. So this is going to be plus 1 over 5 minus 4 plus 2, which is 6. So 1 over 6. And once again, 1/3 goes away with 1/3. Negative 1/4 goes away with 1/4. Negative 1/5 goes away with 1/5. So we're going to get 1/2 minus 1 over 6. Get a common denominator, so I need a 3 and a 3. So this is going to be 3 minus 1 over 6, which ends up being 2 over 6, which is going to be 1 over 3. So my first term is 1/6. My first two terms added together is 1/4, 3/10, and 1/3. So in order to get my nth partial sum, looks like there is no pattern, but if I use the pattern that happens here, it'll be a lot better. If you notice, this is 1/2 minus 1/4, 1/2 minus 1/5, and 1/5 is 2 more than 3. Here's 4. This is 1/2. So every time we have 1/2 and then minus 6. 6 is 2 more than 4, so it's just going to be whatever term I'm on, I'm going to add 2. So there is my nth partial sum. And here is my first 4 partial sums.